Hello, warriors. Welcome to the You Movement. I am B, and tonight it's New Year's Eve. In years past, I would wish you Happy New Year's, but that no longer feels authentic. So instead, I'm going to wish everybody a healing New Year's, or a supportive New Year's, or even better, a loving New Year's. This last year has taught me a lot about letting go of the pursuit of happiness, to learn to be in presence and deal with whatever comes, whatever emotion, whether it be happy, sad, anxiety, fear. We've experienced them all this year. It's been a journey, a difficult one at that. There were many times along this year I didn't know if I was going to make it. To be honest with you, it was a challenge like nothing. These last 2 years have been absolute insanity. But where we started from at the beginning of this year, January 1st, 2024, was a pledge to self. If you didn't watch that video, I'm going to review what that pledge was, because I set out the intention and the mission to do a lot of healing work to recover from the damage of a very narcissistic marriage. And I created a pledge, and many of us joined this pledge. So here's the review to make sure that you adhered to the pledge, and it went like this. I solemnly swear allegiance to myself. For the entirety of this year, I will show up, protect, and love me. I will work diligently to let go of the things that aren't in alignment with my highest and greatest good. I will show myself compassion and forgiveness for my choices, actions, and situations of the past. I will never speak to myself in unkind, judgmental, or negative ways. I will be patient. I will love myself the way I always deserved but didn't receive. I will love my physical body and treat it like its most precious thing I have. I will give it the best foods, movement, and the care it needs. I will honor each emotion and allow it to flow through me with respect and care, understanding that I am healing with each tear shed. I will face each emotion like a warrior, for that is what I am. I am the hero in my story. I will save all of my wounded children from the darkness and comfort and reparent myself, thus healing my emotional body. I will fight each fear with ferocity as I stepped further and further out of my limiting beliefs and reprogram my mental body. I will step into alignment with my soul. In doing so, becoming my authentic self. I will show up in the world in truth, integrity, and boundaries. I will love the fuck out of myself. So I'm going to give myself an A grade on that pledge. I won't say A plus because there's always room for improvement. There were times that I wasn't able to do as much as I wanted to do. But I even think in that there was a lesson and a learning because it is in being that a lot of healing happened when I wasn't able to do all of the things that I would normally set myself up for doing in attempting to heal and course correct. all the areas of my life that needed to be put back into alignment. This last year, for those that have been following me, has been an exceptionally challenging year. More so than I could have ever anticipated. I spent a lot of the time grounding, lying in grass. If I were to do one of those memory photo shoots, it would be, oh, there I am in the grass. Oh, there I am lying in the grass. There I am lying in the grass. Oh, there I am hugging myself and rocking my inner child. There I am doing some more reparenting and self-soothing. So it was as a less active type of year and a more soothing, gentle type of year. So the first lesson learned is healing isn't always going and doing certain healing modalities. Sometimes the practice is in not practicing anything at all, in just allowing and just being what is. That was a little bit of a light bulb for me, because I, in the past, would have always considered that you needed to be doing some particular modality to facilitate a healing environment, when in a reality, sometimes doing less is far better for you. So even last night, as I've been challenged to reparent more inner children that have been surfacing as we've been in the last few weeks, focused on the abandonment wound, and how that has manifested in my life. The one theme that has kind of been playing and that I've been, dismantling is the whole concept of being ignored. And so I wanted to talk to today's video a little bit about being ignored, because when you are ignored, depending on the age and stage, it causes a program to be laid, a neural pathway to be created, and beliefs are stemmed from that, and actions are stemmed from that, and behaviors are stemmed from that. So the root of being ignored as a wound, as a form of abandonment, like we can look at the abandonment wound. Let's pull that apart even more. Yesterday I mentioned in a video, when a baby is ignored and left to cry in their cot, they assume that death is imminent. They give up. They learn over time, and they've done studies around the world in orphanages where children just die. They just die in the cot if they're not given the love and the affection and the attention that they need. And so now they know in orphanages, okay, children need to be held if they're not held, because what they eventually do is they just eventually stop crying. They realize nobody is coming for them, nobody cares. So it imprints in to the consciousness, I'm not important, I am trash, nobody loves me, there's no point to live, nobody's coming, I've got this thing called life, what is it? I'm out, I'm tapping out and I'm gone. So a child simply cannot survive, an infant can't survive if they are ignored. As a child grows up into their toddler years, that too, it may not cause imminent death, but it causes an imprint to be placed into a child that says that they're not important. And ignoring a child can be not just a blanket, go to your room and I'm going to ignore you as a form of punishment. It could also be emotional neglect within an individual's inability to show up for a child emotionally themselves. That somebody can only meet you as far as they've met themselves emotionally, and if emotionally they are closed off because of their own woundings, their own issues, maybe they have addictions, maybe there's different things at play, then they can't provide the nurturance that child needs to have the appropriate building blocks to develop. And then further, if we get ignored later in life, it just keeps exacerbating. It's like a building block of beliefs, and then attitudes, and then behaviors that we internalize, which says, I am worthless, I have no value, I am trash, nobody wants me, I'm better off alone because I'm nobody. And so this is a huge problem in the world, because loneliness is a massive problem that is connected to that being ignored wound. And it distorts our whole perception of what relationship looks like. And I've never had an example of a good, healthy relationship, because my birth father ignored my needs as his infant, and abandoned me because he got himself involved with drugs and ended up in prison. My birth mother ignored my needs when she, at age 2, decided she couldn't handle this anymore. She had found herself in her own situation with another pregnancy on the way, and so I get shipped off to foster care. So those needs, my needs were ignored again, and then my needs were ignored by my adoptive mother, because she was incapable of showing emotional depth or support. Her needs were the only needs that mattered in the household because of this personality disorder that she had, which went undiagnosed and unchecked, which is the way it is with the majority of narcissistic individuals. They don't think there's anything wrong with them, but she would have considered herself to be a fantastic person, I imagine, and to many people she presented herself as a fantastic person, but that didn't mean that she met the needs of her children. Her children were there to meet her needs, her needs to be able to show up in the world and say, look at me, aren't I a super awesome person because I adopted these 2 children that nobody wanted. Unfortunately, that's not how it played out in the household behind closed doors. And then my needs were further not met because I had no outsiders at all observing what was happening inside or in the vicinity of to notice that anything was off or amiss. And so I was completely isolated and believed that being ignored was normal, was the standard of and so I went out into the world and perpetuated that and reenacted that wound in friendships and in relationships. In friendships, I had friends that went on the theory that good friends aren't the type of friends that need to talk to you all the time. You know, talking to you once every 6 months is all that's required for us to be friends. So I thought that's what friendship was. I thought friendship was you saw each other once in a blue moon and you had like an amazing day, and then boom, they were gone. And you wouldn't see them again and you'd be left on your own for a while. I didn't have consistency as an example of friendship. And then in relationship, I had many romantic relationships that they were there 1 minute and then the next they were not there anymore. They were completely and utterly gone. So this energy of being ignored, of being given silence, was my standard. I didn't know anything else. I thought that was normal. And so when that programming is deeply embedded, we believe that. We believe that we are all of those things. And then what we end up doing ultimately is learning to ignore ourselves. Boom, boom. That's the clincher. Is in the abandonment wound, in the ignoring, is we ignore all of our own impulses, our own needs, because as a child, to survive, we had to negate self to satisfy the needs of somebody else. And when you negate self repetitively, or we learn to mask as a way to look, I'm a happy person in a happy family. See, I'm showing up how everybody wants me to show up. Am I doing a good job? You look over to get the nod that everything's okay. Hypervigilance, checking that nothing's out of line. I'm shutting down all of my own emotions. I'm shutting down all of my body's natural reflexes. I'm going against my natural impulses and instincts so that I can be who everybody needs me to be, so that I am safe, so that I am secure. So I have learned the program turns in on itself in this warped, dysfunctional way to learn to ignore self, negate self, put self down, self-criticize, self-judge, all of these things that you're receiving from the outside. It becomes this malignant program that's destroying you from the inside out. And then over time, that develops into ignoring our bodies and our body's needs and impulses. And we no longer listen to those. Even when it comes to physical illness, we'll get a headache and I'm ignoring you, so I need you to go away. So I'm going to give you pain pills. I have a sore knee. I'm going to ignore you. I'm going to wrap you up and we're going to walk on you anyways, even though what you're saying to me is you need to rest. And what the migraine is saying is I need some quiet time, or my stomach is upset and I'm getting acid reflux and I'm going to take the antacids and I'm going to ignore you and say to you, just eat the foods that I'm giving you anyways, because even though your stomach is saying, I can't tolerate this, I'm not digesting life. No. So our body is speaking to us and we learn to ignore it. We learn to ignore basic impulses of even being full or needing to go to the bathroom. You might find yourself I'm busy cleaning. Oh, sugar, I have to go to the bathroom now. Because we are not giving the attention to our bodies. And then the emotions, no, we don't want those. Those ones we definitely don't want. So we're going to ignore those ones. And we're going to give you some pharmaceuticals to numb out the emotions, or we're going to smoke to soothe those emotions away. We're going to feel some anxiety. Alcohol will help with that one. We've got PTSD symptoms. Let's take some pot or some microdosing. I've got nothing to do. I'm feeling lonely. Let's scroll. Let's date. I'm feeling an emotion. Let's get it. So we're constantly seeking all these ways outside of ourselves to negate all these messages that are screaming at us. And instead, what the mission has been is to learn to sit in it and experience it, which has not been an easy mission. But I did make this pledge to myself, and in so doing, it has allowed me to become more and more my authentic self. When you stop doing all of the things that you're doing to ignore all the impulses and the messages that are coming, and you start allowing the messages and the impulses to be heard, to sit with them, to not do anything, to not distract yourself. I'm feeling whatever, I'm going to turn on the television. And I just made that mistake the other day. You know, I'm sick, I'm going to watch some movies. And what I should have done is, in that sickness, is just lay there and allowed myself to feel all of the feelings. And, you know, so yesterday I was like, today I'm practicing no practices. I'm just going to allow whatever arises to arise. And tears started arising as I'm still processing through what's happening on the physical, what's happening on the emotional. And I'm like, yes, I've been ignoring you. I'm sorry. I am sorry. And, you know, we all talk about the inner child and the inner child wounds, but if we don't give the child our time, and that's fundamentally what it is that you need to do, is just give the time. You don't need to feed them. You don't need to distract them. You don't need to anything. Just give them the time. No different than with a child. A baby just wants to be held. That's all that a baby wants. You know, obviously it wants food and things like that too, but for the most part, it wants to be held and comforted and stroked and told that everything is going to be okay, even if you don't know it or not. You know, you just, everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to get better. And that's what we need to do to heal. You know, instead of doing all of these things that we do to mask or to make the problem go away and to shoo it away in some way, you know, I don't want you, this isn't desirable. Instead, bring it close, bring it closer. I'm feeling something, I got to bring this even closer. And it goes against absolutely everything I've ever been taught, and I think the majority of society has ever been taught, because we've all been taught we need to strive for happiness. And so if we're striving for happiness, we're negating everything else. This New Year's, as I said, let's not strive for happiness. Let's strive for authenticity, so that we are stepping into a place where, instead of pushing away, numbing, distracting, distorting, denying, we're allowing. We're just allowing with compassion as we go through the processes of a relationship with self, which means a relationship with those inner children within us that need attention, time, care, softness, gentleness. Think about all the ways the parent should parent a child, and then give those to yourself. And that ultimately was the pledge. You know, I had actually started this pledge from a place of thinking, you know, a romantic relationship with self, because I had sworn off dating. And where I ended up was in a place of becoming the parent, becoming the mother to myself. The relationship that I needed most was not a romantic partner, but a relationship with a mother archetype. And so I had to be that for myself. That was the relationship that I cultivated over the last 365 days. And it's interesting to me now, because I can see how things play out. And I've talked about reenactment abuse in many of my videos, and please check out the narcissistic abuse playlist if you're not familiar with it, or the trauma recovery playlist, because when we have these original wounds, abandonment wounds or being ignored wounds, they manifest out in a way that what we are lacking, the energy that we are lacking, that we are so desperately in need of, it is the hook that somebody who has less than stellar intentions for you can use to manipulate you. And as it turns out, my greatest need was the need of maternal energy, of nurturance. And my ex became aware of that and used that because one of the things that narcissistic individuals do is they know something that they can feed you, something that they can breadcrumb you with. And he was particularly good at caring for me when I was sick. And the fact that he was a contributor to why I was sick was irrelevant. But when I was sick, he was very doting and nurturing. And I'll make you a cup of tea. Can I, what can I do for you? Are you feeling okay? And so in its own twisted way, he was providing me with that maternal energy that I so desperately wanted in the world. And it was sick in a very sick way because I kind of look at it a little bit like a weird version of Munchausen's by proxy, because the more I was sick, the more I got some care. But at the same time, the more I got sick, the more control and power, and he could go do whatever you want, because I never went anywhere with him. He just had his own life. But when he was here, can I get you this? Can I get you that? And so it served as that double life, that double cognitive dissonance, the two minds of I'm getting something out of this. And that's the birthplace of codependency, is what it is. And so there's this shared fantasy that is created for both. And I think in a lot of ways, he was trying to turn me into his mother, and I wasn't having that. And I was trying to turn him into a mother. None of these things done on the conscious level, because these are wounds that are playing out that are like a sick distortion. So as we learn to go into the muck, to unfuck and figure out where the dysfunction is rooted, what lies underneath the codependency. Oh, it's abandonment wounds. It's being ignored. Oh, so when somebody doesn't ignore me, I feel wanted. And when somebody does ignore me, I feel hooked in, And so that's where this, it's like you get some breadcrumbed and then you get ignored. And then you get some and you get ignored. And that seems normal. That seems like healthy. That seems like predictable. And as you learn to pull yourself away from all of that and have a genuine relationship with yourself in isolation, hermited, so you're not playing out any of these childhood wounds with other individuals, which is why it is highly recommended that when you break up from a dysfunctional and toxic relationship, that you go at least a minimum of a year without dating. So I've now been out of romantic relationship for a very long time. A very long time. I can't really recall, because it would be over 3 years since I asked for a divorce, and it took stages to get to the point where I was absolutely no contact. So we'll be coming up to my anniversary of the actual signed divorce papers in the spring. But I wouldn't have been able to get to this place of healing had I continued to participate in a relationship with others as a distraction, because that's just it. You need to be with yourself and giving yourself what you need to figure out what it is you need, that relationship that you need most. What is it? Is it maternal energy? Is it paternal energy, where you need to protect yourself from individuals? Is it both? Is it your own friendship, your own loving, kind romance? Who do you need a relationship with? Cultivate that within. And it's not easy. I'm not saying it is easy. It is not. It is not. But from where I started from last year, and I can remember I was a jittery mess. It was bad. It was very, very bad. It was touch and go this year. If it hadn't have been for a few incredible people who were there for me at times in facing the shadow, in going through dark night of the soul, I don't know how I would have made it through. I really, really don't. And then I've had so many people show up for me on my channel and social media that have been beyond kind, like kinder than ever, which is kind of telling, because the more you show up for yourself and you love yourself, you attract in energies, new energies, kinder energies. The energies of being ignored start to disappear as you cut out from your life anybody that still resonates with the old energy. So that included lots of people. There was a mass exodus. And some of them left on their own accord, and some of them I pulled the plug for, because in learning to love myself, I'm not going to tolerate and put up with anything remotely that sounds like gaslighting. That's just a hard no. Anything that sounds to me or gives me any kind of feeling of heebie-jeebies or discomfort, no, it's just not worth it. My mental and emotional health is just it's not worth it. There's not a person on this planet anymore that is going to put me in harm's way, that I'm going to negate my feelings, my opinions, my words, my anything. I just won't. I just won't do it. And authenticity costs you everything that's not in alignment. And that's what I said here, right? I said, I lost it. I've lost it. It's in there somewhere. Anyways, but my point being, authenticity, when you start standing up and being your authentic self, you piss off a lot of people. And that's okay. That's okay, because honoring yourself is more important than honoring other people. Not ignoring yourself and showing yourself integrity and truth and being in your truth is far more important than anything else. You know, you'll, as a non-drinker, you're going to piss off the drinkers. As a non-smoker, you're going to piss off the smokers. When you're like, I don't need this anymore, I can let this go. As somebody who's not codependent, you're going to not resonate with the people who are still codependent. As somebody who gives up marijuana, whoa, watch out. You're going to really piss off the people who still smoke marijuana. And it's not like you're trying to piss anybody off. You're simply saying, this isn't me. I'm going to be my authentic self over here. And every time that you make a level up of something and come back to yourself as your whole independent self, you're going to isolate yourself from a whole group of people that are not there yet. And everything has its place. It's not, I have zero judgment to anybody for doing anything at any stage of the healing path. Look at my journey. I didn't start from like a Zen master. And I'm still not a Zen master. I started from an overweight, diseased, dysfunctional woman in a highly abusive relationship with so many wounds that thought I was like the most broken person on the planet, that I had no hope of healing anything. And all I'm saying is, every time you heal something and you let go of something that isn't going to resonate, you're going to piss off all of the people that are still doing that thing that you're doing. And you're like, I don't need that thing anymore, because I don't need to smoke anymore because I can self-soothe. I don't need this for my PTSD, because when I have a PTSD symptom, cannabis, when I have PTSD symptoms, I can sit in the energy and I can be with myself, and I can transmute through it. I don't need to numb it. I don't need to do something outside of myself anymore. Is it easy? No, it's not easy. So am I telling anybody to give up what works? Hey, if something works for you, keep doing it. You keep doing it until it doesn't work for you anymore. And then you level up to a new level, and then you do something else. And then that doesn't work anymore. And then you level up and you do something else that doesn't work for you. And it keeps happening. And so each time you level up, my point is, you're going to piss off a group of people that are going to be like, nah. And you're going to be like, sorry, I'm just wanting to be me. My right to be me, to exist in this world, makeup free. Sorry, all the people that wear makeup out there. I happen to think it's more attractive, my face in my authentic self, than when I have all a bunch of shit covered all over my face. But that's going to piss off all the people that still think, wearing makeup is the most important thing in the world. Listen, do whatever you want to do. I don't care. I just want to be me, right? I just want to live in my little bubble and have, I made a pledge to me to be myself, be my authentic version of self. So on that path, I've made a lot of decisions for the first time in my life that said, I don't care what society says about this or that. I don't care what this group of people says about this or that. I don't care. Society says I'm a woman and I should shave your legs. Yeah, fuck off. I don't need to shave my legs. Which is probably, if I went to a beach in Mexico, somebody's going to be like, I don't know why me being me is affecting other people. But it is. It is. And it will for you too. The more you are you, the more you pledge allegiance to yourself, the more you will irritate the fuck out of people. And I say, good. Irritate people. If I'm irritating, then maybe it makes you think about whatever it is that's irritating you. If I'm triggering you because I quit smoking and you still smoke, okay, it makes you think about quitting smoking. If I'm irritating you because I don't wear makeup, or because I swear, or because I do something, okay. That's what it is to be yourself. I'm just going to be in my truth and in my integrity. This is me. I am B. And I have boundaries. So you can be irritated with me over there. Way over there. And I'm going to be happy in this little relationship with myself, in this bubble with myself. Because I can be my own mother now, and I can be my own father, and I can be my own sibling if I feel like I want to be in an energy of being with a sibling. I can be my own friend. I can be my own romantic. I can take myself out for a day. I can buy myself flowers. I wouldn't, because, I prefer plants because then they can grow in the ground. I can plant myself flowers. I can be. And you can be too. But you just can't be me. You gotta be your own self. Now I'm going, wah! So, point being, have a very authentic New Year. Peace out.